I mean, you know, I've been around a long time, but I'm a lot younger than people assume me to be. I'm 34. They got me like listed as 44, basically, in people's mind. But nah, I mean, I'm here for tonight. I'm not even thinking about tomorrow.
How many times in the past did you think you'd get an opportunity like this again after you lost to Lewis?
I knew I'd get a chance because I knew, you know, all I had to do was stay busy and fight my way back to the top. It was a hard road back, but I did it. I'm here.
In your mind, how would you assess your career? Many have thought that maybe you've been an underachiever.
Overachiever. I was a guy who, you know, was sick all my life. You know, I basically didn't go to school because I had asthma, and you know, where I came from, it was rough. And listen, I'm way out of the ghetto. I'm way out of the hood. I'm feeling good about that, and I'm doing good for myself. I got a great family, 2 beautiful children. I'm doing great.
Shannon, how much hope does it give you when you see a guy like Miskeyev win a championship at 37, and when he can capture it, do you think in your mind, hey, it's out there for me?
Well, 37 is old, man. I mean, young. I'm sorry, 37 is young. I mean, I always felt like, you know, look, when I beat George Foreman, I became heavyweight champion of the world. People don't like to give me the credit for it, but I did. I lost the linear championship to Lennox, and I knew one day I'd be champion again, and it's going to be tonight.
Shannon, let's take a look at the press conference and the weigh-in that occurred on Wednesday. It got pretty agitated between you and Siarhei. Tell us just exactly what was happening here, because there was an exchange of words, and as this tape continues to roll on, he's going to point at you and you're going to have a reaction. So what exactly was the problem here?
You know, I was trying to get under his skin. Basically, I got under his skin from day one because I realized that he was a guy who gets frustrated. I watched his fights early on in his career. He's a guy who's not mentally strong, so I wanted to get under his skin and make him do something stupid, and I think I did a great job at that.
In the process, were you too disrespectful?
I don't think so, not at all. I mean, I'm never disrespectful. I mean, this is boxing, this is the fight sport, but you can't cross the line, but I don't think I did at all.
All right, let's take a listen. You don't think that was a bit over the edge there, huh?
Well, that was a little harsh, but at the same time, you know, that was heat of the moment. I don't even remember that. Basically, I spazzed out. But hey, listen, it happens, man. I'm here for a championship. He has something I want, and I'm taking it.
Was a family program up until then. Shannon, good evening. Good luck to you this evening.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's go back out to you, Steve.
All right, thanks to Jim Gray earlier tonight with Shannon Briggs. You can always count on Briggs to talk boldly, and he's acted boldly at the press conferences leading up to tonight. Will it spill over when the bell sounds? Siarhei Liakhovich does his fighting in the ring, not at press conferences. He surprised a lot of folks by outlasting the big punching Layman Brewster, but Liakhovich's success hasn't surprised the fighter himself. The confident champion has turned his dreams into reality.
It's when I start doing my amateur career, I told to myself, if someday I will become world champion. So, dream come true.
Dreams. They inspire fighters during the long, lonely hours in the gym and sustain them through the harsh punishments of the ring. For Siarhei Liakhovich, the dreams of being a world champion began long ago in an industrial city in the former Soviet Union.
I came from Belarus, and I have working family. It's my father, construction worker, and my mother, she's worked. And I was 12, and my father told me, how about you try boxing? Okay, so I tried, I like it.
In pursuit of his dream, he excelled in the amateur ranks.
I was in Olympic team in 1996. I represent Belarus. And I won bronze medal in World Championships in 1997 in Budapest.
Despite his fame, Liakhovich could not forge a pro career in Belarus. So he left the only life he knew to migrate to Phoenix, Arizona.
I miss a lot my family, my sister, my father, my mother, and all my family.
But in the Valley of the Sun, far from his native Belarus, he met and married Irina, a Russian-born woman. She has provided love, support, and a link to the world he left behind.
It's like starting from zero. You really have to make new friends, new places. I mean, it's really all different, and the culture is different, relationships, people around you, everything is different. And that's one of the sacrifices you do. You have to know your goal and you have to do whatever it takes to reach it.
As his personal life flourished, so did his professional career as he rose through the heavyweight ranks. Earlier this year, Liakhovich met WBO champion Layman Brewster in what could be the heavyweight fight of the year. What a slugfest! Furious pace for big men. Non-stop action. In the 7th round, Liakhovich was hurt, and his dreams of a championship were in jeopardy.
Some guy inside you tells you this. So when you see this one guy, bad guy, and one good guy, and bad guy said to you, man, just you need to stop, don't do this no more. And another guy, you know, it's a good guy who said, you need to do a little bit more. So, and I push myself.
And push himself he did. Liakhovich with a breakthrough. Big action here for Liakhovich. At the end of the 12th round, the fight went to the cards.
Winner and new WBO heavyweight champion of the world.
This is just great feelings. Great feelings. It's hard to explain these feelings. It's great. I realize it's my dream come true.
By defeating Layman Brewster in one of the year's best fights, Siarhei Liakhovich introduced himself with an exclamation point. Now he's looking to establish consistency and build to a multi-million-dollar unification fight. Now, ring-wise, just how formidable are Liakhovich's skills, being mindful that Briggs has had problems with technically savvy guys?
I think you can make the case that Liakhovich is the most skilled in terms of fundamentals of any of the 4 heavyweight champions, that's for sure. But Liakhovich does have a few unconventional things that make him kind of a hybrid of a standard Eastern European fighter and the more freewheeling American type style that we see. Did I say freewheeling? Well, Shannon Briggs is that for sure. He's in a seek and destroy mode these days that has produced 11 straight wins by stoppages. But tonight there are some technique issues he needs to consider. One of those issues is keeping his hands up, especially his left. He can eat right hands. Briggs says he has the stamina to win a decision. I'm not sure. I think he needs to go for a KO. Liakhovich loves to lead with a right to the body, and you have to counter that punch with a left hook. And Briggs can throw that punch. When Joseph Akin was short with this right hand, Briggs would counter beautifully with his own left hook. And this created a knockdown. Even if he doesn't hurt Liakhovich doing this, he has to counter to take away the right to the body. When tall heavyweights use their stand-up style against Briggs, it works. Leaning in is a bad idea. Liakhovich took early risks against Layman Brewster. That was a mistake. It would be tonight as well. Briggs' Achilles heel is standing straight with his hands down. Liakhovich can land the right hand. Liakhovich did a masterful job of using the jab against Layman Brewster, and it set up the right hand. He needs to use this often against Briggs, and it may lead to this finishing left hook. Liakhovich showing that he is a polished and schooled boxer.
So we close in on what the locals are calling Arizona's biggest sports spectacle since Game 7 of the 2001 World Series, on these same grounds and on the same calendar day, November the 4th. The engaging Shannon Briggs with his trademark gold dreadlocks and beard coming into Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. Briggs, another one of those compelling stories. Born premature at 3 pounds, a sickly child. Hard to believe looking at the man today. From the tough Brownsville section of Brooklyn, as a kid, he and his mom would wander the streets homeless, sleeping on trains and shelters. His mom died of a drug overdose. His stepdad died in prison. A boxing career, promise, expectations, missed opportunities, excuses, seemed destined for greatness, but distractions, inconsistency, nasty splits with trainers, chasing an acting career, reducing Briggs to a perennial contender. Al, it took Shannon Briggs 8 years to get back here on the world title stage, and if he doesn't do it tonight, the consensus is he'll never get another chance.
Well, you know, with all that drama you said acted out, it's amazing. He pointed out he's 34. Most people think he's 40. He makes the point that most heavyweight contenders these days are at least that age or older. And so with his power, he walks in here with the same chance that some others who have gotten the job done have.
And he walks in with some very interesting specs.
Yeah, he does.
In the past, Briggs has had issues with stamina, weight, training habits. He claims he's fixed. He's fixed it all, that he's sparred 110 rounds, and we'll soon see if it all pays off in a fight that could change the life of Shannon Briggs. In sharp contrast to the gregarious, outspoken challenger, the reserved, understated champion Siarhei Liakhovich. Getting some nice reaction from the crowd. He resides in nearby Scottsdale, Arizona. The past 7 years, we were wondering coming in about the hometown advantage. The boxing community certainly took notice of his thrilling upset of Lehman Brewster to lift the title, but we wondered if it would resonate with the fans, even the ones right here in his own backyard. They salute him as he makes his way in. Tough to anoint a guy based on one fight, Al. And tonight the pressure is on Liakhovich to prove he's more than a one-hit wonder.
Well, you know what? He comes in here, though, off a performance against Lehman Brewster that I think was very, very special. And he served notice that he has the kind of skills and resolve that could very well make him a major player for years in the heavyweight division.
The last time Siarhei Liakhovich was in the ring, he was in what many consider the fight of the year. The big question now, how does he follow it up tonight? His lovely wife, Irina, we saw earlier in the feature, so supportive of Siarhei. She's been here about 13 years. She was a journalist back in the Ukraine and became an interior designer here in the United States, and here is where she met Siarhei.
A delightful lady who's a very important force not only in his life but in his career as well.
So they're a team, Siarhei and Irina Liakhovich. Let's size them up now as we go to the tail of the tape. Briggs turns 35 in exactly a month, nearly 5 years older than Liakhovich. Big heavyweights, both stand 6'4" and a 30-pound difference at 268. Briggs actually down from his career heaviest, 273 his last fight, and Briggs with a whopping 80-inch reach has a 5.5-inch advantage there. And the key unified rules for this world title affair: there's no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt causes a fight to end within 4 rounds, it's a no decision. After 4 rounds, they go to the scorecards. And if a punch causes a cut and the injured fighter can't continue, he loses by TKO. So here at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, getting ready for our main event, Siarhei Liakhovich versus Shannon Briggs for the WBO Heavyweight Championship. Let's get the official